everyone, and welcome back. If this is your first time, I hope you'll stay. Espero que te quedes. So today we're going to be looking at how to be better speakers, how to do better in your speaking exam. Okay? So, cómo mejorar tu expresión oral. Okay? Improving your speaking skills. Now, we know that in language learning, there are 5 skills that we have to improve, we have to get through. Those skills are writing skills, important. Our writing is something we need to look at. Our reading skills. Okay, so escribir, leer, what was the other one? Grammar, la gramática, what's the other one? Escuchar, listening, okay? And the last one, which is what we're seeing today, is our speaking. So, nuestra expresión oral, our speaking skill. Listening, escuchar, grammar, la gramática, reading, la lectura, o leer, to read, leer, and writing, okay? La parte de writing, la escritura, okay? Writing. Escribir, leer, la gramática, la parte de escuchar y speaking, oral, la parte oral. So today we're going to focus on the skill of speaking, okay? La expresión oral. What do we do to make sure we are better? How do we make sure that we are doing the very best we can to get the best mark we possibly can? Now, this is a problem for a lot of students. Just doesn't pertain to one country, it's everywhere. If you're learning a language, you will struggle with one of the skills, unless you're just super special and you master languages. A lot of people struggle, a lot of my students struggle with the speaking. They get very tense and they don't know what to say and they forget everything they'd planned in their heads and it's a bit of a mess. So I hope that after this lesson you will have it a little bit clearer and you will walk into the exam with clarity and tranquilidad, con tranquilidad. Sometimes my words come out a bit splangooshy, okay, it's a mixture of Spanish and English. All right, okay. So what's the first thing that I'm going to suggest you do? The first thing that I want you to think about is this one. Perfection, la perfección, no existe. La perfección no existe, okay? You are not speaking in your mother tongue, okay? No es tu lengua materna. Entonces, no tienes que ser perfecto, perfecta. You don't have to be perfect because perfection is not what you're aiming for, okay? In an exam, you're not aiming to be perfect because we know you are still learning. It takes time. It's a process, okay? Live the process. So we're not aiming for perfection. Time. El tiempo es muy importante, okay? Es muy importante que no corras. You're not rushing. No corras. Don't rush, okay? So the timing is important. It is not a race. It's okay if you're expressing yourself. It's okay for the listener to follow you, okay? To wait for you. You don't have to be speaking at a speed that's so quick to show that you're fluent or to show that you know the language. Absolutely not. Take your time. Slow down. I'm not saying speak so slowly that it becomes a problem, no. No vas a hablar tan rápido ni tan lento. Toma tu tiempo, ¿ok? No corras. ¿Por qué? Estamos intentando hablar con claridad. Our aim is to speak clearly all the time, okay? Why do we need to speak clearly? The whole point of speaking or having good speaking skills is that you're communicating with others in an effective manner. ¿Vale? Tenemos que facilitar la comunicación. Tenemos que saber cómo comunicar con los demás. That's the aim of speaking and improving your speaking skills. So, tienes que hablar de una manera clara para que te sigan. Okay? So people are able to follow you. Now, if you're speaking too quickly, si vas corriendo, hablando, porque quieres mostrar que hablas mucho y hablas muy bien, you're not necessarily speaking clearly. So clarity is one of your important points, okay? Clearly. Muy bien. Now, the next point is being familiar with your topic. Los temas, pues debes saber cuáles son tus temas. Si estás hablando de la familia, o tu ciudad, o tus hobbies, lo que haces en tu tiempo libre, tú tienes que saber todos los temas, all the topics. You ought to know them. If you know them, you're going to know the vocabulary. You're going to know typical questions that might be asked. Okay? So you're going to familiarize yourself with your topics, and you need to feel quite comfortable with your topics. So it doesn't matter if they decide to ask you about the weather or traveling or your studies, because has estudiado antemano, ¿okay? Has estudiado tus temas y estás seguro o estás segura de lo que vas a hablar, ¿okay? Del tema de que vas a hablar. ¿Okay? Now, el siguiente es control. Control, you control what you're speaking, your topic, what you're saying, and so it goes back again to clarity, speaking well and not rushing. You're in control of what you're saying, and the listener will have to wait on you. Okay? Do not at any time feel that you're out of control. And if you find yourself rushing and you feel as though you're losing control a little bit, stop. Take back that control. The words are yours. Let them out as you feel it's necessary. At any time you can control what you're saying. If you want to speed it up, if you want to slow it down, if you want to, it's yours. You are in control when you're speaking, when it's your turn. Okay? Another great point that's worth noting down is tongue twisters. Okay? Las trabalenguas. Trabalenguas. So your tongue twisters. Now, tongue twisters, las trabalenguas, te ayudan mucho a la hora de pronunciar mejor las palabras. Okay? So, tongue twisters are fantastic for your diction. I recommend you do some tongue twisters when you're thinking about your speaking, because it helps you to get familiarized with the difficult sounds, difficult words. Great practice. Jot that one down. Tongue twisters. Okay? Right. Practice. We are all really good at what we're really good at with practice. So if the speaking is a topic you struggle with, speak more, okay? Get yourself a person who speaks Spanish or a classmate, okay? Búscate una persona nativa o un compañero o compañera de clase con quien puedes practicar, okay? Porque la práctica es muy importante, okay? Otra vez, la perfección no existe. Estamos estudiando. It's part of the process to make mistakes, and so embrace that. We're not aiming for perfection, we're aiming to improve, okay? Right. Yes, this is a very important one. When you're doing a speaking exam, a lot of times, especially if you go in twos, you might be asked a question that you have to debate along with somebody else, with someone else. So you have to learn to become an active listener. What does that mean? You are listening to what the other person is saying at all times. Okay? Don't just wait for someone to finish, then for you to just start speaking about your bit. Show that you're paying attention to what the person said before you, so that instead of just showing that you've learned a paragraph off by heart, that you are reacting to the other person's conversation, the other person's opinions or thoughts. What that's doing as well, it means that you're developing your thinking skills. Okay, you're learning to become better thinkers. And you're improving your fluency by doing this as well. Because it's practice. If you listen to what someone else is saying, it's probably something unexpected. And so it forces you to think of another word, think of another vocabulary, where that perhaps you wouldn't have thought of if you were just doing a monologue. Okay, so you have to learn to be active listeners. You're not just waiting for your turn to speak. This is very important in a speaking exam, because you want to show that you have a natural flow with someone. That is a point you will get evaluated on. How natural the conversation sounds. Okay? That's a big point actually. How well do you interact with the other person? Did you answer the question that the person asked? Did you show interest? Does the conversation flow? ¿Okay? ¿Está fluyendo la conversación? ¿Estás escuchando lo que está diciendo la otra persona? ¿O estás simplemente esperando tu turno? Piénsalo. Think about it. Okay. Otro punto muy importante es watching a good speaker. Tienes que mirar o buscar una persona que hable bien. Fíjate las cosas que hacen bien estas personas. Okay? Find a good speaker. For me, Barack Obama is a good speaker. Presidents in general, prime ministers, actors tend to be good speakers. Find someone you like and imitate. If you're doing Spanish, look for someone Spanish who expresses themselves well. If you're doing English, find an English person or an American person or an Australian person who speaks well. Okay? If you don't know, I will recommend down below for you. Okay? What things do they do right? Notice, are they speaking very quickly? Are they rushing? Are they in control of what they're saying? What about their non-verbal communications? Okay? Non-verbal communication is what we do. We're still communicating with the person, but we're using other ways, so whether it's body language, facial expressions. I use a lot of facial expressions, and I also use my hands a lot. Okay, these things are very, very important also when we're speaking, especially if we're speaking in public. Not so much for the exam, because you'll be sitting down, but still for facial expression might count some, okay, because people react to these non-verbal ways of communicating, okay? So, see, non-verbal way of communicating, all of this. It matters depending what type of speaking you're doing and where you're doing it. Okay, so be aware of that. Another point which I find fundamental and a good practice is storytelling. Now, try and tell a story that you know, but paraphrase it. Okay, if you don't have anyone to tell it to, record yourself. Yes, I love the idea of recording yourself to see your progress. Record yourself telling the story if you don't have anyone to tell the story to. Record yourself, grábate y cuentas la historia desde el principio hasta el final. ¿Cómo empieza la historia? ¿Qué pasa después? Y en el medio, ¿qué pasa? Y al final, ¿qué pasó? Okay? Tell a story. Desde el primer paso, desde el principio hasta el final. Okay? Good practice. Storytelling from the beginning until the end. Try it. Record it. And let me know how you get on. Okay? Dime luego cómo os fue. Okay? Con esto de contar una historia. Okay, this is very, very important that we're doing this. Okay, the next one is perhaps the most important one, and is la relajación. Okay, you need to learn how to relax. Now, there are lots of exercises you can find online, practices you could use to relax yourself so you don't get so stressed out, you don't get so nervous when you need to speak. Find videos and ways to relax yourself if you are a person who tends to get very nervous. Relájate. Okay? Busca ejercicios que puedes hacer para ayudarte a relajar un poco más. Okay? Yo creo que eso es todo. You see. Y recuerda, imitation is your friend. Find someone who speaks well, imitate that person, and remember, perfection is not what we're aiming for. We're aiming to improve and get the best marks possible in our exam. So, speak clearly, be familiar with your topic, control, timing, tongue twisters, be an active listener, watch a good speaker, practice, practice, practice. La práctica te va a ayudar muchísimo. Okay, so good luck with your exam, with your speaking exam, and let me know how you get on. Nearly forgot. Do not just learn words, guys. Learn expressions. This is going to make a massive difference in your speaking. No vamos a aprender solamente palabras sueltas. Hay que tomar tiempo para aprender expresiones expresiones coloquiales o expresiones comunes, ¿ok? Esto te va a ayudar mucho y con eso os voy a dejar. Let me know, dejadme saber qué tal os fue con el examen. Until next time. And don't forget to subscribe if you have not already done so. See you soon, guys. Adios.